All right, so we are back here on Biashara Tuesday, and we're sitting down on the launch to help, of course, get an understanding or a perspective into various issues. And today, we're talking financing higher education in the country. Could be expensive for some, yeah? So we have seen several issues or several instances of people who are dropping out of school, who are unable to repay their loan. In 2019, there was a scare that Helb was going to publish names of defaulters since 1990 all the way to right about now. However, that is not what we are focusing on this morning. We're trying to get an understanding of what kind of benefits or what kind of loans are available for undergraduate, postgraduate, and of course, if you are already on that path, how can you utilize better your Helb loan? I'm being joined here on this conversation, of course, by an expert who is already well in the field and matters of academia, and also putting it into perspective for campus students, is Jacqueline Masicha, who's a senior account assistant at Kenyatta University, and she'll be giving me her thoughts. Of course, if you have any questions that you want me to ask her, do that on social platforms at KUTV_Kenya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I'm good.
Utamaduni Day or Huduma Day?
Utamaduni.
Utamaduni.
Yeah.
Wewe ulikuwa unajua which side we are?
Lakini nilikuwa najua ni utamaduni, mtu akaniambia ni huduma. Then eventually nikaambiwa ni utamaduni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Utamaduni Day, so we have that out of the way. And one of those things yenye zimekuwa utamaduni, of course, is Helb, yeah? Helb has been there for quite some time. I know my father did get Helb. His father, if he had gone to school, probably would have gotten some help there. I did get help during my time, and I'm sure that many of the university students in the country are trying or have already accessed the Higher Education's Loans Board for financing of their higher education. Now, before maybe we get into detail in what Helb is all about and what kind of ways people can utilize it, maybe an understanding into what is why Helb? Maybe we can start there. Why is there Helb in the first place?
Yeah, the Higher Education Loans Board came in place so that it can help finance the needy students pursue higher education. We know that higher education is not cheap. It's not something that you can rely on people to fund you all the time. So the Higher Education Loans Board came in to help the needy students so that they can be able to pursue their studies without encountering the financial challenges that come with furthering higher education. Yes.
Right. Is it available for, I know it is available for students who are going to public universities. Is it also the same for private institutions?
Yes. Currently, it's available for all students. As long as you are joining any institution of higher learning, you are qualified to apply the Higher Education Loans Board. Whether you are self-sponsored or you are in the university through COOPs.
All right.
Yes.
So I remember sometime when I was joining university, I was 17 at the time.
Yes.
And I did try to apply for Helb. I think I wasn't successful the first time because I was told I need a national identification card to do that.
Yes.
So what are the eligibility requirements looking like?
One of the requirements is that you must have attained the age of majority, and the age of majority in this country is 18 years. So for you to apply, you must have your national ID, a valid national ID. You cannot apply with a birth certificate. You cannot apply using your parents' ID. You must have your own valid national ID for you to apply, and then you must have joined, the institution to further your education. You must be having that admission letter, and you must be a Kenyan citizen. Yes.
You can't apply with your parliament. I'm 18. I just need help.
No, because you're applying. We are furthering your education. So if you are just as you say,
yeah.
and you want to apply Helb, what are you going to use it for? Helb is for furthering your education.
Right.
Yes.
Is it for public, just public, or is it for universities or those which have been categorized as universities, also maybe teachers training colleges and the rest of TVET?
Currently, even TVET, they are receiving.
Okay.
And I think it is a good thing because Previously, when it was restricted to universities, some of the students were not able to further their education simply because they are maybe in TVETs or in medical colleges. But we are glad that right now, because it supports all students, whether you are in TVET, whether you're in the university. Though when you're in the university, it cannot support for diploma courses. The university is strictly for degree courses. We don't support diploma. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
But eventually, if you maybe get into a degree course, you can get to apply now.
You can.
All right. Is the requirement to have a valid national identification or to have already attained the age of majority because of maybe repayment? I'm guessing eventually you have to repay it yourself, so they need your details.
Yes, and loan, as you say, Helb is a loan. And if I'm giving you a loan, you are the one who's supposed to pay in the long run.
Right.
So the reason why you take your national ID is because you are the one who is supposed to pay for that loan.
Right.
So it helps the Higher Education Loans Board in keeping the correct records.
To keep track of whoever has taken this loan.
Yes.
How's the application process like then? Now you have 18, you have your ID, you're applying, you've already have your admission letter to university.
Yeah.
What is the next steps now here?
The first application, we call it first Helb application. You are supposed to create an account on the Helb portal. You create an account and fill in the correct details, because majority of the students rush and don't fill all correct details. So you ensure you fill all the correct details, your correct name, the correct institution you are joining, the correct national ID, as we are saying, and you fill this online. The application is online. After filling online, that is when you generate that form and print and take it to various people to help you sign. Guarantors. Previously, you are going up to the chief, you are going up to the Kadi. Or
I remember, I think I did go to the chief.
Yeah, but currently...
and my pastor.
Yeah. So if you don't go to church, that's where...
That's now
the rubber meets the road. But now, I think they're at an advantage because you don't go through all that. Yeah, you ensure you only go to... You get two guarantors and attach a copy of their national ID. If your parent is deceased, you are supposed to attach a copy of the death certificate. But if your parents are alive, you attach their copies of ID.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's the first application. That's how it looks like.
Then after signing, having them signed by guarantors, you print 2 copies. The first copy you take it to, you can take it to Anniversary Towers or any Huduma center that is near you, and the second one you keep
for yourself, for your own records.
Yes.
So that's how easy the first application
right now
has been.
It's very easy.
Yeah, I remember it was quite a challenge back then, looking for those signatures. Wenda kwa chief mara hayuko anasuluhisha mambo ya shamba.
Maskizani na mama yako.
Pia maybe. Yeah.
So right now, I think it's very easy as long as you have the correct attachment. As you said, you have your national ID, the national ID of your parents, and then the guarantors, national ID, and your admission letter.
Do these guarantors need to be people with money or just anyone who can back me up?
You know, a guarantor is someone who is saying that in case you fail paying your loan, I'll be there to salvage the situation. So it must be someone who's doing something, even if it's farming, but it's bringing some kind of income. Yes.
Does Helb follow up with the guarantors maybe if there's a defaulter?
Not really. I've not heard of any situation where they're following the guarantors because one way or another, the graduate who has benefited from Helb finds something to do, and maybe they'll start paying their own. I've not heard of mine being followed up.
Yeah, of course. I'm guessing it's because if you can't really pay it, and then you ask them to maybe join in and help you repay.
Yeah, right now, by day it's very friendly because even if you graduate today and you don't have a job, because they normally give you a year, you can write to Helb and talk to them and tell them, currently I don't have a job, you can waive the interest in the meantime. And they're also given so many options that you can even use your bonga points to pay.
To pay,
I don't think there's that much.
Right. We're going to have a look at the repayment plan as well, maybe towards the end. But now we have cleared the first application round, right?
Yes.
So is it going to get easier even with the second time, third time, fourth time? How does the process look like after that?
After the first application, if the loan has gone through, because sometimes it might not.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But if the loan has gone through the second time, it's now easier and it goes through, because the first time they verify your documents if they are legit, maybe if you've attached the correct documents, so you might be granted the loan or it might be deferred. Yes, maybe to another time. So once it is granted the loan, the second time it's easier. You just go to the cyber, or you can even use the USSD code to continue and apply. Yes.
And it's just for the second time, there's no more documents to bring in.
There's no more documentation, because they already have your details. Yes.
I see. So you've mentioned there that sometimes, of course, there are people who might not be granted the loan. Are there reasons that maybe you can highlight to us that will lead to people not getting the loan even after successfully making an application?
Yes, because sometimes maybe you've not justified the reason why if you're in financial need. And as I said earlier, help is for those in financial need. So if you don't justify enough that the reason you want this is to support your education, you are in financial need, you might not be given that loan. If you fill details that are not correct in any way, for instance, when they input your national ID, your name is populating someone else, you'll not be given that loan. So there are basic reasons. That's why we insist on your first application, you need to be very careful and very keen.
Because that's going to set pace for the rest of the applications.
Yes. So once you fill the correct details and they are able to prove your eligibility and your level of need, you will get. But if they're through their own means, if they go through your documents and they find that you are not really in need, your loan may not go through.
I see. How much of the academic fee does Helb cover for students whenever they apply? Does that vary?
For the amount you are granted, it depends whether you're an undergraduate or an undergraduate who is either self-sponsored and the one who got through direct entry, the KUPS. The KUPS, 8,000 of their loan goes to tuition. And it's divided into the first semester, they pay the 4,000 to the university. Then the second semester, they pay the 4,000. And then the rest, the 16,000, is given to your account as your upkeep. Yes. Okay,
so you get 16,000 to decide how you utilize it, but 4,000 is always put in the university coffers for you on your behalf. You've mentioned that it's different for undergraduate and postgraduate.
Yes.
All right. Is the amount same? Or
for postgraduate, there are various loans that are there. First, maybe I'll say about the self-sponsored. The self-sponsored, they don't get upkeep.
All
when
of it
you're a
is
self-sponsored student, all the amount goes to your tuition. Yes. So most of them, maybe they apply and they see others partying,
having fun with it.
And then they wonder, but it's their fees are a little bit higher. So when they commit to paying school fees, they only pay tuition. And they get maybe between 40,000 and 60,000.
And help fee is not for partying, by the way. We're going to also highlight some of the ways you can utilize your help. Si kuenda kushika Sayona, big speaker, na kuweka pale kwa nyumba. However, before we get to that, there's a question on postgraduate loans. So you're going to maybe before we get into the types, maybe few loans that are available for both undergraduate and postgraduate students. If you're moving to postgraduate, let's say I've finished my undergraduate this year and next year I'm doing my master's, do I have to finish repaying my undergraduate loan to qualify for another one for the postgraduate program?
No, as long as you are paying as
long as you're in school.
Yes, okay. As long as, if I took the first loan, and I started paying it with whichever way, maybe M-Pesa, as long as I'm making the baby steps. If I join for a postgraduate course, I can apply Yeah, but for postgraduate, because they are classified differently, so you'll know which one you will qualify. Yes.
But you must already be making repayments.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are these loans? What are the various loans we can have a look at?
Postgraduate loans, we have one like GLE loan. GLE loan is for salaried people. That loan is off your pay slip. And when the calculations are done, even if you had a first loan, the second loan, you must also meet what we are calling the third or the basic rule of your pay slip. The government says that you must remain with at least a third on your pay slip. So you must be within, not over having committed your pay slip. So that loan is off pay slip for salaried people.
Okay.
And then we also have the postgraduate scholarships. These ones you don't pay.
Oh, and this is still from Helb?
Yes.
Okay.
And we normally focus on what we call the STEM courses, or courses that fund the Big Four agenda, that support the Big Four agenda. The STEM courses, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics courses. They are the ones who apply for postgraduate, and they are able to get those scholarships. Scholarships we don't pay back.
Okay. Those are like grants.
Yes, they are grants. And then we have maybe the partnership like the KRA. We have the KRA revolving fund, and then the civil servants. Yes, so for those ones, it's a partnership, KRA and Helb, and then the civil servants and Helb, so it funds their education.
Okay, so that's how postgraduate looks like in a nutshell. Are there also various loans for undergraduate, or just that one?
Undergraduate, we have now the Helb that now funds the loans, the common one that we know. And then we have bursary. Helb bursary, which is between 4,000 and 8,000. Helb bursary, you don't pay back.
Do you apply for that as well?
There is no different application form for bursary. The moment you do your first application, that's why we insist on doing it keenly. The bursary will also be determined from that. How needy are you?
Okay. Because
bursary is given to the needy students.
Okay. So this you will get. They will decide and give it to you.
A student, there's a procedure in which the student feel after getting the first loan, but the determination is used from the first loan application.
Okay.
Yes.
Could you explain? Sometime back also looking at my financial statement, while still in school, I found a very random bursary allocation. And I wondered whether my member of parliament was trying to get me to vote for him or not. Probably that must have been Helb.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you get for the whole years, or
it was just for one random semester, so that's why it wasn't I didn't feel like it was something that I had applied for, so probably could explain.
They look at the level of need. Maybe the student is a total orphan. There's we find the students who are from vulnerable areas, marginalized areas, and from the way they are feeling the information, even about the responsibilities of their parents, their siblings, you find that this student really needs more support. So we'll rate maybe with the Helb rates, and this one probably with 4,000 in addition to what we give, the student can be able to sustain themselves through the university.
All right.
Yes.
What are the implications now of getting a Helb loan? What should someone know is going to happen once they get a Helb loan?
Once you get a Helb loan, you must know that's a financial obligation. That is one. When it's a Helb loan, you must know that it's a financial obligation that you're supposed to pay in future. So it's not that you've been given money so that you have a good time, or you are being rewarded for qualifying to join the university. It's a loan you are getting, and the only privilege you have is that because you've qualified to go to the university, they're not looking at your financial records the way banks do. They're just checking that you qualify to go to the university, and they decide to support you.
Right.
Yes. So
it's not a soft life.
No, it's not a soft life. That's why even advice, you use it well. Because in the long run, you'll come back and pay. I've had so many people saying, "Hiyo Helb hata ikunisaidia, nika iko na laana."
Hakuna kitu ya maana alifanyia.
Hakuna kitu ya maana alifanyia. But you forget that it's sponsored your education, or maybe the time you are being given, you didn't use it well. But now you are required to pay. And you know, when you get funding, it is always sweet because that time you're enjoying and using it, your life is flowing. But the moment now you are told to pay, that is now where the problems begin.
Right.
So you must know that it is a loan that you will pay with an interest of 4%. It accrues an interest of 4% annually.
Yes. Okay, I see. Now, since we are talking about utilization of the Helb loan, and tumesema it's not soft life and there's financial obligations, maybe let's have a look now on the financial obligations. How's the repayment plan like? Now the interest rates and how soon you should start repaying your Helb loan.
How soon you start will depend with you. There are some students who start paying even while they are still in the university. Yeah, but normally Helbs give you a year after graduation. You can now start paying. But they still have room if you don't have a job, because it's not easy to get a job out there. So maybe you've not been able to get a job on time. You are allowed to write to them and explain to them that currently I'm in this situation and I'll not be able to fulfill my financial obligation to you. So you kind of give me a grace period. I can start paying when I find something to do. But also they have given you rooms, as I had stated. You can
get a waiver.
Yeah, you can start paying slowly. Maybe M-Pesa, if you get 500, you pay. If you can get maybe enough bonga points, you can use the bonga points to pay.
Also pay back.
Yeah, of which I know most people who come from university, most of them have a lot of bonga points.
A lot of bonga points for sure. Yeah.
They can.
So many calls, and I love your messages been done there. So bonga points are enough for you to start repaying your loan. Now, here's a very tricky question. You know, we well, I as someone who's an account manager at Kenyatta University, and I've also gone through Kenyatta University, very aware of the retake process. So there are students who maybe after 4 years they still have a few retakes to do. They have 3 semesters on top of the ones they've already done, or 2 more. Are they still eligible to apply for Helb, or is there a point Helb is like, yo, umesoma sana?
Yes.
Tosha.
Yes. If your course calls you to, you're supposed to be in the university for 4 years. Helb knows will fund your course for 4 years duration. So if it has funded you 4 times already, now you've exhausted yours.
So unless it's the number of times,
yes,
not the number of years.
No.
Okay.
So it funds you for 4 years, because maybe your course was supposed to take 4 years. So it funds you 4 times. Yes.
So that if you defer, then you still can come back and apply for Helb.
Yes.
All right. That's a very helpful one in that regard. Okay. So now here's something I want an opinion from you. Maybe away from Kenyatta University and away from Helb. Should we should Helb become a grant in such a way that students do not have to repay? We have had situations of student debt crisis all over the world, including the United States, where the debt on student loans is rising every single day, and it's become a very big conversation, even in the country. Does the economy, will the economy be able to handle a situation where Helb becomes a grant, or should even we consider having Helb as a grant?
I don't think we should. And I'm not being malicious, but you know, looking at our economy currently, Helb has been sustaining itself through maybe the interest sometimes gets from this student to be able to sustain and help other students join the university. They already have various, like a bursary is a grant, the scholarship is a grant. So depending on the level of need, these students have been able to get the scholarship and the bursaries. The loan remains a loan, because I don't see why Helb should be a grant, and you find maybe there's a daughter of a minister somewhere also utilizing Helb. Why should that person be given a grant?
I see.
And that is a financial stable person, because you know there are some students whom even their parents don't want them to apply for Helb, but they
because
apply.
It's going to be an obligation.
But they apply. So many students apply,
and their parents do not,
because they want to remain here with the upkeep to sustain themselves. So if you make it a grant, so many people will take it. Will take advantage of that, of which it happens.
It has happened.
Yes.
A lot of times.
Yes.
Okay, so it's important that it stays as a loan. Maybe we reduce the interest rates.
4% is
it's doable.
Yeah. because the only higher interest rate is for GL Michel loan, who pay 10% because they are salaried, but the rest are 4%, all of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Tunaweza chukua 2%. Haiwezi kuwa mbaya sana.
Uchumi haitakuwa sustainable.
I mean, considering members of parliament who hujiongezea salary every other time, so maybe think about
the
students as well. But food for thought for Kenyans and also for members of parliament. Now, the implications of Helb, we have had a look at that. But in 2019, as I mentioned earlier, there was that scare that Helb was going to publish names of people who have defaulted loans since 1990. Are there such kind, I know that's not happening, of course, but are there implications of that degree if someone doesn't, or someone isn't able to repay a loan, they finished school, they went abroad and left Kenya for good, or someone never got a job or never got formal employment, so they're not under the tax bracket or something like that? How does Helb tackle situations like that?
After some time, when you've not been paying and you're not communicating to Helb, there's that default. You are negatively listed on CRB.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so you should take it as a financial obligation that if I get a job, I'll start making the small steps and pay a little amount, even if I get 500, because they don't reject. They don't tell you that you must pay 2,000. So if you can pay 500, you can pay maybe 900 that month. I've had friends who are paying 900 when came from campus and they pay. It helps you to avoid the negative listing on CRB, because at some point maybe you'll want a bigger financial loan to help you do something, maybe to buy a car. And you go to the bank and they tell you you are negatively listed because you are not paying a Helb loan.
Okay.
Yes.
I see.
So eventually you'll be listed on CRB if you are not making any steps of paying that loan. Yes.
Okay. So there you have it. Make sure that you are making steps. Pole pole, even while you're still receiving your Helb, while still in campus, make sure you make a few payments, kidogo, 500, 300, 1,000, and help ease that pain after school. Also including the fact that some jobs require you during application to also come through with your CRB clearance certificate. So to avoid that negative listing, already unakimbizwa na tala huko kando, pia wachana na mambo ya Helb. Ensure that unaweza kurepay. Utilize it well, as she has said. It's not money to party with. It's also money to help you have a smooth time in college. As someone who's an account manager, are there other ways in which students can pursue to get financing for higher education that you've seen outside of Helb, maybe?
Yes. I've realized there are so many organizations that support education. So many people have given education so much weight. And you'll find, apart from the Helb that we're talking about, the CDF has been supporting students. And in as much as the Court of Law said that it will not be there, we are finding that different constituencies are coming up with ways they are going to fund. So go back to your county, go back to your constituency, apply. Because even the same Helb, we have partnership with various counties. You'll find Kakamega, Taita Taveta, there are so many of them. They fund students through Helb. Yes, so you find that there's Kakamega County Helb fund that is coming. Kakamega County has its own scholarships. You find you can go back to your constituency and get those ones. There are organizations like Ratansi. Students can apply as long as you are needy and you can display your level of need. You can get funding from there.
Right.
We have so many organizations. I don't think I can mention
all of them, yeah.
But maybe if they visit me in my office, I can give them a list of some. But we must display that level of need so that I can give you a referral.
Also, to get that kind of information. I'm getting also people, or many students are not aware. They only think that it's Helb that's available for them when they come to campus.
Yes.
So it's important, if you're a needy student, to check out some of those opportunities, show your level of need, and Jacqueline at her office will be able to give you a list of some of the things that you can get to have a look at. Maybe, where is your office at? And then if there are Kenyatta University students who are watching, definitely will be able to come through and see you.
They can visit me at Direct Banking office. It's room number 14. Most students, I think they can identify a direct banking office.
Central admin or?
No, it's this old admission.
All right.
Yes.
Old admissions block,
Yes.
room 14.
Yes.
That's where you get Jacqueline Masicha, the senior accounts manager, senior accounts assistant at Kenyatta University. Joining us here, of course, to give us an insight into how Helb is important for students, the loan application process, and also repayment and utilization of Helb. I don't know, maybe Helb looks perfect to you in one way or another. Is there something maybe you think should be changed or added, or any improvement that you feel can be done? If there's none, it's still okay.
Yeah, Helb, the problem we're having with Helb is timely disbursement of funds.
Okay.
Like right now, so many students were asking me, am I going to call off because they have not paid? And I think it happens almost every other semester. They give them upkeep on time, but now then they don't pay KU on time. And you find that there's a set deadline. So sometimes students, you can even use your own upkeep. It's only 4,000 to pay instead of calling off. But I'll just encourage students not to call off. There are so many funding. I feel so bad when students come to my desk and they want to call off. Yes.
There are so many other funding
avenues,
opportunities
yeah,
for them.
Yes.
All right. So maybe also as you receive your, to do away with that timely disbursement issue, as you receive your upkeep, usienda kupiga nayo nini Sayona speaker kwanza. Get it to pay fee, alafu you will catch up in the next semester. Thank you very much, Jacqueline,
Most welcome.
for coming to the show.
And thank
Next
you for
time,
having me.
Yeah, next time we have a discussion on